Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. Janie here. Today I am in my backyard and today I wanted to do my March backyard garden tour for you guys. So every month this year my goal is to do a front yard garden tour and a backyard garden tour, simply so I can see and you guys can see the progress of my garden starting in January. Really, I think I did it even in December, all the way through the season, so we can see the progress that's made and and the changes over the year. And I think it would be really fun at the end of the year when we're all cold sitting inside in December to see the difference. So I am going to add all these garden tours to a playlist. I'll link it up above, and it's basically going to be every single month. So it is mid-March here in Northern California. I'm in zone 9B and things are going crazy. You can see my honeysuckle is just absolutely going nuts, growing all over the place. We've passed our last frost. That was March 1st for us. And so I've started planting out vegetables. I've started planting out annuals and things like that. So this is go time for us. So let me take you guys around my backyard and I'll show you what has changed in the past month. So we will start over here in my side yard with my espaliered honeysuckle. They're not blooming yet, but they are going crazy. I've already trimmed these honeysuckle once or twice this month, so this is a good example of just the amount of work that goes into doing something like this. You have to stay on top of it, because if you don't, it would basically just take over this whole fence and you wouldn't even see the diamonds. I did a video this month on how to do this espalier. I installed one for my friend in my friend's side yard, and we used English ivy for that, and I will go ahead and I will link that video up above. In my kitchen window box, I have my pink cyclamen here, and they're looking pretty, but I think that they're about done. Don't look at how dirty this is. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to transplant these to my front yard with the rest of my cyclamen, and then I'm gonna put some more annuals right here. And what I really wanna focus on is I wanna focus on a window box that you see from the inside, right? Because we come out here to the side yard, but we're not like chilling out here on the side yard. It's really, the sink is right there, so it's really what we're doing inside, and that's the view I want to focus on with that flower box. So stay tuned for that video. And then a couple people had some questions about how I connected this flower box to my wall. And we have stucco right here. So what I did is I just found the studs, and then I took this board as kind of like a backer board or stabilizer board, and we screwed that into the studs. And then if you look behind, I don't know if you guys can see this you can't see it. This flower box came with brackets, and all we did is we screwed the brackets into that board, and then you just hook the flower box right on there. So it's really easy. The hardest part was finding the studs, but when you have a window, you kind of know where the studs are, so it wasn't too bad. So all in all, I love this flower box. It says it is a self-watering flower box, but it's not. That feature doesn't work very well. We have drip going up to it right there, and I do want to paint that our house color so it blends in a little bit more. I just haven't gotten to that yet. Okay, and then you can see this little garden bed here right by my air conditioner. These had my apricot tulips in it, and I cut them all back and gave them to my mom, and I'm just letting them brown out so that I can save the bulbs. I'm gonna try and save these bulbs this year and store them, I don't know, in my fridge or something. I haven't quite decided on that yet. Right here is a double chiffon Rose of Sharon from Proven Winners, and that guy's starting to leaf out, which I'm really excited for that. And then right behind me, I have a borrowed view of my neighbor. My neighbor has this beautiful yellow shrub. I don't even know what it is, but I know as I drive up north on I-5 North to see my parents in Redding, they have these shrubs all along the freeway as well. So it's beautiful, it smells beautiful, and then there's also this tree, which, gosh, I'm blanking on the name of that right now. I'll put it down below, but that smells wonderful. I think it's a mock orange. That smells wonderful as well. So I love this, having my neighbor right next door and having these two beautiful shrubs is just wonderful. Okay, so you guys can kind of see an overview of my garden. I'm gonna wait to go over there once the sun goes down over my neighbor's house so you guys can actually see it. But you can see it's looking good. Not a ton of changes this month, but they're starting to grow and they're starting to leaf out, and that's pretty much the biggest change. I mean, look at my honeysuckle. It's going crazy. So let me start off first let me start off with these pots right here. So I planted these pots last November and I cut back all these snapdragons and they are about to start flowering. And so I just want them to flower first before I take them out and put more like my summer annuals in. But you can see they're looking really beautiful. Here's my white cyclamen that's about done, and I will transplant that up into my front yard, into my little cyclamen garden, and then I have some purple alyssum as well. We did take out the cushions. I think I took those out last month actually because we've had such dry weather. It's ridiculous. We've had no rain, but we did take out the cushions for the couches. So we've been out here enjoying this and enjoying the fire pit and everything like that. But I'm really excited. Just yesterday, I just ordered rugs for right here, outdoor rugs. And I didn't order those last year. Last year, I just had these old rugs that they were like 5x7, which is way too small for this spot. So I'm really excited to get the big rugs. I think they were 8x10 or 9x10 or something like that. And I think that they're going to be really pretty here and underneath the table right next to me. So let me show you guys my greenhouse. I've gotten a lot of questions about this greenhouse, and I have to say I really enjoy it. One of my very first videos was a greenhouse review because I did this greenhouse, and then I have another greenhouse that I purchased the year before this that I hate. It is the worst, not this greenhouse. Let me show you guys. That greenhouse. Do you guys see that one? I think that one's like Out Sunny or something like that, and it's one of those hoop houses. That is the worst greenhouse ever. We just use that for dry storage now at this point, just because I don't want to bother throwing it away. We might as well store some things underneath there, but do not waste your money with that piece of junk. I hate that thing. So this greenhouse, it's a little bit more expensive than the other one, but really not much more expensive. I purchased this. This is the Palram Hybrid 6x8, and I purchased it off Tractor Supply Company's website, and I got it on sale. So watch for it. There's been a couple times I've checked, and it's been on sale for, I think it was $5.99. And I'm really, really enjoying this greenhouse. I wish I had just bought this one in the first place and not wasted my money with the cheap one, because it just wasn't worth it. So this one was delivered to us in like 3 boxes, and my husband helped me put it together. But one of the things that I always tell you guys in the comments if you have questions is one of the things we did, I don't even think you can see it. I saw a couple YouTube videos about taking AC air conditioner duct tape, which is like the silvery type of tape, and then taping all the edges of it and of all these panels. And what that does is it keeps moisture out of the interior section of these, so it prevents mold from accumulating in these. So right now it's dirty, I need to wash it off, but there is no mold in there, and it just keeps it, just by doing that extra step, it keeps it looking cleaner, and it doesn't get that kind of fuzzy, dirty look that a lot of greenhouses will get after a couple years. So I've had this for I think a year now, and I'm really, really liking it. I think it's great. Obviously, I live in California, zone 9B, so we don't get super, super cold, so I can't tell you guys how well it does in colder environments, but it's done really well. It's kept all the frost off of all my seedlings and plants over this winter. Okay, and right in front of the greenhouse, I have my improved Meyer lemon tree, and I did fertilize it for the first time this month, and it's doing so happy. Look at all these buds. Super excited about that. I even have a flower here. Look at that, so nice. And then I have my sweet peas. These are just leftover sweet peas that I had from my cut flower garden, and I just put them there. And then I have my, what is this called? Purple Queen Bougainvillea. And you can see it's not looking beautiful right now. you know, if you look at it, you think, oh man, that must be dead. But if you look close, it's growing. It's starting to leaf out. And I kind of think of bougainvillea as like semi-deciduous. It'll hold some of its leaves, but if it gets too cold, it'll drop some of its leaves. So I think this guy got too cold being in the pot, but now it is starting to grow some of its leaves back. And if you scratch, like even this stick right here that looks dead, if you scratch it, it's green. So it's healthy, it's growing back, it's gonna flush out really, really soon. Okay, let me show you guys my greenhouse. I haven't showed you this in a while. Over here, I have my tiny tomato project, and these tiny tomatoes are, well, they're micro dwarf tomatoes. And what I'm doing is I'm growing all of these. I have this little cute little plant stand that was sent to me, and I'll pot these up this next month and put them on that plant stand. But all of these are gonna go in like a 8-inch terracotta pots. And so I'll have all these different varieties. I think I have 11 different varieties of micro dwarf tomatoes just to see how they do. This is my single seed project, Purple Rain tomato, and obviously that one's a little bit behind. This one did get, this is Prince 2.0, or somebody had the funniest joke. They said the artist formerly known as Prince, but Prince 1.0 had helmet head and died and didn't survive. So that's okay, just a little behind on my single seed project. And then here are all my dahlias. I potted up my dahlias. I have 20 of them. And over here, they haven't sprouted yet. But as we get over to this side, these are the ones that have sprouted. And I just keep adjusting them and put the sprouted ones. You can see this one's Arabian Night, and that one's going crazy. KELVIN Floodlight, Luna Claire Obscura, Creme de Cassis, Cafe au lait has even started. And basically every day I come out here and I check, and I see that they've kind of sprouted a little bit. It is so dry here. Usually they say you don't need to water, the dahlias before they've sprouted, but I mean, we are so dry here, guys. I just come and I just splash a little bit of water, and you can see I watered it this morning and it's basically barely moist at all. So that's what I've been doing. You can see I have fungus gnats, so that's a bummer, but that's okay. And then these are all the plants that I've just wintered over. I have a couple of SUPERTUNIAs, and you can see this is SUPERTUNIA Paradise. That's looking gorgeous, so pretty. I don't know where I'm gonna put that. I think this is SUPERTUNIA Silverberry right here, and so I have to find a place for that. And then I think this one's SUPERTUNIA Bubblegum. I do have Chocolate Drop Coleus that I wintered over that's doing perfect. And then this is a Mystic Spires Blue Salvia that I have to figure out where I want to put that. And then all of these are begonias that I just have to figure out where to put all these. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, and then you can see all my pool equipment. Somebody had a really good piece of advice and said, get like, what are those, window screen covers, you know, where it's like a sticker that you put on your windows, and do that on the back of this to block out the pool equipment. And I thought that was a really good idea, so I'm going to look into that. And then over here I have all my caladiums, and they're starting to sprout. And my friend Olivia, who's obsessed with caladiums, she says they take a really long time to sprout, but once they do, they start going crazy. So I have a feeling these guys will start going crazy pretty soon. I have some seedlings from my cut flower garden right here. Here's my apricot asters that I have to transplant out. My afternoon white cosmos I already transplanted out, and I just don't know what to do with these guys. And my lilac poppies I already transplanted out. So yeah, I have lots of seedlings. And then I did a video with a trip to Annie's Annuals, and Annie's Annuals was so happy with me with that video, which I am just like beaming with pride. I can't believe they even noticed, but they sent me a couple plants to say thank you. So thank you to Annie's for sending me these. I'm so excited to get these out in the garden. When I was there with my girls, I wanted this Philadelphus Belle Etoile Mock Orange. Can you guys see that? No? There we go, mock orange, but I accidentally got a salvia. I accidentally picked up a salvia instead. So they ended up sending me this one, which is one that was on my wish list anyway. And then in that video, I saw this one. This was the CLIANTHUS PUNICEUS Pink Flamingo. Oh, sorry guys. There we go. And this one, I'll put a little clip up on the video right now of what it looked like when we visited there. It was so beautiful. So they sent me that one as well. And then a couple other ones that I will plant out when I show you guys. I still have Robert the Red impatiens that I need to get out as well. I need to do that. Okay, so that is my greenhouse right now in March. A little bit messy, but that's okay. It's getting lots and lots of use. So, looks like the sun is almost down. Let's get started with the cut flower garden, which is not the cut flower garden, the kitchen garden, which is right over here. So this kitchen garden I put together this month. I am so proud of myself for doing this because I did it basically on the cheap budget. So what I did is I went and I foraged for these sticks that here in my town, when we have extra green waste, we can put it in these piles on the street and a truck will come by and pick it up. And all I did was, before the truck came, I went out and I, picked up all the sticks that I thought would fit for this. It's called a wattle fence. So the vertical bamboo stakes, those are called sails. And then the other sticks that I've woven through, those are called the weavers. And so this is a very, very old technique for making fences. And I just thought it would look so beautiful right here. This is right next to my kitchen door and the table that my family and I eat a lot of meals at during the summer. So I just wanted this vegetable garden to be beautiful. So you can see I have a lot of little starts going. I have 2 muncher cucumbers and I'm going to train those up strings that are attached to my pergola right there. My friend Blair gave me a fairy tale eggplant and a bell pepper that she grew from seed. So thank you, Blair. And then I have my crookneck squash and I have my black beauty zucchini. And I am totally aware that this is probably all too smashed in, especially with the zucchini and the squash. So I'm thinking about taking out the squash. I think that that's just going to take up too much room. I think I do want to keep the zucchini just because my family and we eat a lot of zucchini. Maybe I will transplant this into the front yard somewhere. Right here, I have my purple hyacinth bean that's going to grow up my pergola. I had that last year. It was absolutely beautiful. I completely recommend that plant. It is so fantastic. And, you grow it from seed and then you get like 1 million seeds. So it's basically free and it's gorgeous. So this pattern, I don't know, this model of kitchen garden is called a keyhole garden, and basically allows you to walk in and it allows you to harvest without getting your feet dirty or stepping on the soil or anything like that. So this is kind of what I wanted it to look like. I just wanted it to be beautiful as well as functional. And then right over here, I have my heat tolerant lettuce, which is really good since we're getting really hot. I mean, like I said, we were 90 degrees yesterday, which is ridiculous for March, but that's kind of where we're at. So hopefully this lettuce will grow and we'll be able to harvest off it before it gets too hot here. Okay, and then you can see this is the south side of my house where I'm growing bougainvillea up the wall, and it's totally happy because this is probably the hottest spot on my property because this faces the south, and then it has this bright, this light wall that keeps it really warm as well. But I wanted to show you guys the difference between this bougainvillea bush and that bougainvillea bush, and you can see that one is super happy and blooming its little head off. And this one has aphids and it's definitely not as happy. And I think the main reason for that is because I have my hose right there and you can see I have my lantana standard. This side is where I water everything. So I think this bougainvillea is getting way, way, way too much water. Bougainvillea does not like water. That's the worst thing you can do to it is overwater it. And so I think I am overwatering this side, not even thinking about it as I'm using my hose. So I think I need to start going back and forth. Luckily, I have that hose link that can swivel, but I need to start going back and forth so I stop overwatering this bougainvillea, or it's going to be like half leaves and struggling and then half this beautiful, beautiful pink blooms with the bougainvillea. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it, love it, love it. So my goal is to have this whole side of my house just be covered in the bougainvillea with little cutouts for the windows. Won't that look gorgeous? So I have these 3 pots right here, and I've decided what annuals I want to plant this year, and I've actually ordered them. They're just not here yet. So I still have my last year's flowers still kind of wintering over from there. You can see I have my strawberries that I've kind of forgotten about those. But then I have my Snow Princess Alyssum that's just going crazy, and there's bees on it right now, and it's totally happy. I have my Snowdrift Supertunia that's doing really happy back there. And then I have my Spanish Lavender and my Bermuda Beach Supertunia as well. And this is absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful combination. However, I really want these 3 pots to match this year. I've never had them match just simply because I've been too eager to throw in different blooms, you know, because it's gorgeous. And so I'm really going to try and, like, I don't want to say restrain myself, but control myself and put in matching, because I think the 3 pots, I think it looks so beautiful if they were matching. So I have to do that. Hopefully I'll get those in next month. And then one of the projects I did this month was my berry barrels. So I have this one, and then I have that one over there. And what I did is I did a blueberry bush in the middle, and then I surrounded it with strawberries. And in this one, I have Seascape strawberries. You can see my label right here. These guys are doing amazing. I actually ate a strawberry off of this today, and it was tasted delicious. You can see I've got strawberries growing right there. And then the blueberry bush, that is the peach sorbet blueberry bush right there. Over in this one, excuse that mess, over in this one I have my Silver Dollar blueberry bush, and then that's surrounded by the Quinault strawberries that are a little bit behind, probably because that one gets a little bit more shade, but they're still happy and they're growing. Okay, so over here on the west side of my yard, I have my Schubertii alliums, and those are surrounding my 3 Bobo hydrangeas that are just starting to leaf out. The Schubertii, there's one bud right there. Oh, there's 2. There's another one right there. So those are kind of like the firework looking alliums, and I'm really excited for those to bloom. You can see my honeysuckles going crazy. I have to start training all of those. But right behind that, you guys can see my tutor that I built. On that tutor is a clematis, and my last garden tour, I said, I think the clematis is dead because it was all sticks, and you all said, no, 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 wait, and you were right. As soon as I said it, it started leafing out, and now it's about to start blossoming very soon. So I do not know the name of this clematis. I lost the tag. I have no idea. So I will keep putting pictures up and videoing it. And if anybody knows the variety, I would love to hear it. I don't even know what kind it is, like what type it is for the pruning. So my goal for this year is to identify this plant. And then we've got a little bit of sun, hopefully you guys can see, but my Elegantissima red twig dogwood, the variegated dogwood, it finally leafed out. And this is a baby plant. I planted it late summer, fall last year. So it's gonna get much bigger than this. It's already basically doubled in size, but it's so beautiful. Look at those leaves. And that's why I got it, is for the leaf color. So I have the variegated leaves right there, and then right next to it I have this Wichita blue juniper, which is blue, and then I have the green of the honeysuckle. So variegated blue and green, and I think it looks so beautiful when it's all together. Right below here, you can see my ostrich fern is starting to come up. I did not know that the ostrich fern would die back like a hosta, and so I thought it just died last year. I'm so glad I didn't dig it out. I wasn't familiar with that plant, and it's starting to come back. So that will look really pretty. It's a really pretty leaf structure as well. So this whole area is really foliage heavy, and I do need to add some blooms into the area this year, so I will work on that. I still have not decided what I'm gonna do with this area back here. You know, the oak tree above, it's leafed out. The tree trimmers have trimmed it way back. So I think it used to come right here, like into the grass. So this whole area was shaded, and they trimmed it way back. So I think I'm gonna get a lot more sun this year, but I don't think enough to be able to put vegetables or anything back there. So I'm gonna kind of watch it. I'm gonna see how much light I actually get in this area, and then I can decide what I'm gonna plant back there. So the other thing we did this month is we started fertilizing our lawn, and I did a video on lawn care. I'll link that up above. But we filmed that video, I think, a week ago, and already my lawn is looking fantastic. It is so thick and lush, and all the bald spots that were back there are gone. And Jason has already had to mow it basically weekly mow it now. So that was just one fertilizing that we needed to do, and it just made such a difference. Okay, almost done. I just have this north side left to go. So this is my privet, and I need to trim it, but it's about to start blooming. So I'm torn because I don't want to cut off the blooms because I wanted to see it bloom. But this is my topiary that I need to fix these topiaries, both of them. They're both looking a little wonky right now. And then in the third pot right here, I have my sparkling amethyst verbena that's finally starting to flesh out. And this I planted last year. So this needs to get fertilized, basically. I had SUPERTUNIA snowdrift over here in this pot underneath my privet topiary, and I think I'm gonna pull that out. It's still, I think it will grow if I took care of it, but I think I wanna pull it out and put something else underneath there. So not much to see over here. And then finally, I have my, let me see if I can back up and show you guys a better view. I have my honeysuckle, my 3 honeysuckle, and then I have my limelight hydrangeas in between. And I absolutely love this view. This is the view that we see from inside our house. And once these limelight hydrangeas start blooming, it's gorgeous. I have replete daffodils underneath, and they're kind of falling over. I've cut a lot of them for cut flowers already. But yeah, I have to come in and I just have to kind of prune everything. Everything's getting all this fresh, beautiful, lovely growth. And I'm really excited about it. Okay, you guys, so that's about it for my March backyard and greenhouse garden tour. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I feel like I talk so much in these garden tours, but there's so much that I want to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. The girls are actually at a sleepover at their friend's house tonight, so I'm gonna go enjoy the evening with Jason. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider subscribing, and I hope you all have a chance to get into your garden today.